Hello, everyone. Claire Jones from Clarifications Coaching. My mission is to help badass entrepreneurs grow their businesses without burning out. And this is the next video in a series where I go over some of the tools and strategies that I use both in my own business as well as in my clients' businesses to help people streamline and systemize and basically get shit done. So today I'm going to be going over this concept that I call flexible time blocking. So a lot of you have been interested in how I schedule my time, especially when I'm being conscious of the 7 facets of the Healthy Mind Platter, which are focus time, downtime, time in, physical time, sleep time, play time, and connecting time. And those are the 7 facets that are essential to prioritize if you want optimal brain health and optimal brain functioning, which will benefit both your life and your business in huge ways. So it's hard to find the time to prioritize all of those things individually, but I combine a lot of those activities to basically hit 2 birds with 1 stone. And so today I'm just going to be showing you guys my Google Calendar. This is basically the tool that I use to run my life. It is my to-do list, it is my task list, it is my reminder list. It is how I make sure that my time is strategic and intentional and focused and effective. So I'm going to show you my basic layout for the week. So I'm going to start in January 2020. This is the second week of January because the first week is usually devoted to the holiday break and everything. So it's going to be a little bit weirder than my usual schedule. So I'm going to start in the second week of January. So as you can see, I have different colors for different activities. The blue activities are activities for myself, more leisure time or self-time type of activities. So on Sundays in the morning, I always have text someone that I care about because I want to devote time to connecting time each week. And this is an easy way to check in on my connections, check in on my friends and my families, and really intentionally reach out to the people that I care about. And so it's a good reminder because otherwise I might forget or I might get distracted. And so I just have this pop up on my phone every Sunday morning to just remind me to send off a message to someone that I care about. And that's a good way to hit your connecting time and really intentionally prioritize the time for that. And then up next, I have dog park time because I have a little dog and I know he gets bored being in the house all week. I mean, he gets time in the yard, but I really like to take him out and exercise him a bit. I mean, he's only 10 pounds, so he doesn't need that much, but I like to spend time with him. And this is another time that chance that I can use to incorporate playtime and or connecting time because he is a loved one of mine and really get myself out into the nature and get myself interacting, get some fresh air, some sunshine maybe, and probably not in Seattle in January, but maybe in the summer times. So I have that on every Sunday at 11 a.m. as well. That's a recurring event, so it just pops up automatically. And if I'm really busy on a particular Sunday and don't have time to go to the dog park, I at least make time to throw the ball in the backyard for him or play with him a bit and, give him more attention than I do in my day to day. So that's a good reminder. And then art time is something that I use as a way to self-express and self-care. And I'm really into making art. So I just schedule it on my Sundays just to make sure that I devote an hour, at least an hour to it every weekend. And this can be anything from working on a painting to knitting to working on a scrapbook to, doodling. It can be any type of art or creative activity. And I really allow myself the chance to change it up on a week-to-week basis so that I'm not stuck doing the same thing every week. And then finally on Sunday evenings, I have Self-Care Sunday. And that's basically my time to put on a face mask, kick back with a glass of wine, and really just relax or take a long bath or do my nails, something that will really soothe myself, nourish my body, and make me feel like a more joyful person. It's a great way to start off the week and go into Monday relaxed and with a fresh face. So I have that recurring every Sunday evening as well. And I can always move these around too. So if I have an event on a Sunday night, I will just drag and drop this somewhere else earlier in the day, or maybe on Monday night instead of Sunday night. And so that's what I mean when it comes to flexible time blocking, is that I know I want to devote an hour to it every week, but it doesn't really matter when the hour happens. So I can move it around based on my schedule for that week if there are other conflicting activities or commitments that I am obligated to go to or want to go to, if social events, stuff like that. So Monday morning, I always have an hour for emails because I know there's always a backlog of emails from over the weekend or ones that I didn't get to Friday afternoon. And so I always give myself a good start off to the week by going through my emails, making sure that there's things that I'm paying attention to if I need to, following up with clients, making sure my appointments are still good for the rest of the week, stuff like that. And so I just block out an hour Monday mornings to work on emails. And it just gives me a good place to start the week because then I can strategize, adjust if I need to, that kind of stuff. And then I have Costco at 10 a.m. on Mondays because I hate going to Costco on the weekends or in the evenings after work because it is so busy. So 10 a.m. on Monday mornings is actually a great time to go to Costco because there's not that many people there. And it doesn't take me that long because I try to go every week or every other week. And so I don't have that much to get every time I'm there. And I usually have a set list of things that I'm getting. And so I can be in and out within probably about 15 minutes. So it usually only takes me about half an hour to complete. So next, every morning at 10:45, I have my social media time. And so this is the time that I am creating my posts and I am checking all of my notifications, following up on comments, following up on follows if I need to, and basically engaging on my social media platforms. And so this is the time where I post posts, I like things, I comment on things, and I engage with the people who have engaged with me. And I have about 45 minutes in order to do that on every morning at 10:45 a.m. And again, if I have a meeting that I need to set up at that time frame, then I can drag and drop it to another time in the day. But then I always make sure that I'm devoting 45 minutes a day to those types of activities. And that creates consistency and that creates results. So that's a way to systemize your time and prioritize your time in a way that works for you. And then every Monday, I also update my reading list blog and post it to Facebook. So I have a series of blogs on my website where I just post all of the books that I've been reading and books that I find helpful for my clients as well as my general audiences. And so every Monday I will just update a new blog, put a new book on there, write a little description of it, and then share it on Facebook. And since I've already read these books, I don't really need to spend that much time on it. That's why I only have half an hour devoted to it. And then I just write up a little paragraph blurb about it and then share it. And usually people find these useful. So that's a way that I create content in a systemized way. And again, I can move it around if I need to. Instead of in the morning, I can move it to the afternoon if I have other things that get in the way. But then I always have time to devote to it. And then every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m., I have Meditate, because meditation is a really important practice for me. And this is a way to intentionally devote time to time in, one of the 7 healthy mind platter areas. And I've kind of played around with what time of day that I meditate. I can't really do it in the mornings because I'm too tired and I don't really have time. And I found that if I do it in the evenings, I'm more unfocused and it's harder for me to settle down into the meditation. So I found out that if I do it right before lunch, then it gives me a good opportunity to settle myself and reset myself for the rest of the day. So I just have this for 30 minutes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And ideally, I'd like to make it an everyday practice, but I don't always have time for that. So I know I can at least do it 3 times a week, and that's good enough for me. So eat, I always have to schedule in time to eat because I often forget to eat. I forget that that's a thing that my body needs. So I schedule in half an hour to eat every single day. And that just reminds me to actually go and eat my lunch because I often get distracted. I often forget to eat. And that's just a good reminder. And then I know not to schedule over it as well. If, I have a meeting, it reminds me that, oh, I do need to eat that day. So I have that as a reminder for every day. And then strategy time is something that I do every 2 weeks on Mondays. I'll move this around so you can see this. So you can see that most of these are recurring things that I set up in Google Calendar to make sure that they are recurring. And so every 2 weeks on Monday at 1 p.m., I have strategy time. And this is time that I sit down with my plan, my strategy plan, and I usually do 6 months in advance, and I write it out either in my notebook or on a Google Doc. And I go through it, make sure I'm doing the correct tasks that I need to do, make sure that I have things in the calendar that I need to put in the calendar, stuff like that, and make sure that all of my major projects are still moving along, make sure that all of my major content pieces are still moving along. And this just gives me time to sit down and strategize and look at my business instead of working in my business. So that's an important one that I always try to prioritize as well. And then because I need client time, I schedule client time every day from 2:30 to 4 p.m. And this is time that I schedule meetings with clients or do client work on my own. And I just make sure that I have that blocked out in my schedule and I don't schedule over it with other tasks that aren't devoted to money making activities. And this is how I prioritize the work that actually needs to get done and makes me money instead of spending my time running around doing things that actually don't make me money. So I have this every day on a weekday for about an hour and a half. And again, if I have a meeting that I need to schedule that's not related to a client, I can move it up in the day or move it down in the day so that I have that time area to work with. And then Monday evenings, 4 to 5 p.m. every Monday, I have go through Facebook group content. So I follow a lot of Facebook groups that produce a lot of interesting content like sales videos, branding videos, all kinds of different training opportunities. And I don't really have time to watch the videos throughout the rest of the week. So I devote an hour every Monday evening to go through these videos and learn a little bit. You know, maybe I don't know about their particular sales process. Maybe I can learn something new. And I just sit down and take notes and watch these videos so that I can continue growing and learning as an individual and really take advantage of the awesome content that's out there in all of the Facebook groups. And again, you know, if I don't have time for this, I can move it around to another time in the week, but then I always make sure that I have an hour devoted to it every week. And then I try to end work at 5 p.m. so that I have, you know, a work-life balance, and that works out for me. So Tuesday and Thursday mornings, I have gym time, and this is how I prioritize my physical time on the Healthy Mind Platter. And I know that it's going to take me about 15 minutes to get home and about half an hour to get showered and get dressed and get ready. So I always leave that gap there, and I rarely schedule over it unless I have like a really important networking meeting or something like that. But I try to go to the gym 3 times a week. And so Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings is when I go. And that's just something that's really non-negotiable for me because I know that my physical health is important and I really pride my physical health. And when you are exercising your body, your brain actually produces a substance, a chemical called BNDF, I believe, brain neurotropic something, I forget what it stands for. But it's basically Miracle-Gro for your brain. And it really enhances your learning capacity. It really enhances your memory capacity. And it really helps your overall cognitive functions. And so if I start off my day with that, you know, good juicy chemicals in my brain, then I have better performance the rest of the day because my brain has produced those great chemicals. So those are Tuesday and Thursday morning recurring events for me. And then I have my social media posts, like I talked about every morning. And then I have a coaching power hour. That's something that is held by the coaching school that I went to for my coaching certification. And that's just a power hour video that they host on their Facebook page. And so when I'm able to attend it, I will, but usually I'm not. That's why I have it in this gray color, because it's not really a priority for me. But if I'm available, I'll attend. So that's, I think, a monthly one. And then every Tuesday, I create a Loom how-to video, which is exactly what this is. And that's when I go through all of the tools and strategies that I use in my business, as well as in my clients' businesses. And I record a video about it. And I teach people how to use it, teach people how it works, why it's important. And then I post it to Facebook. And I'm going to start just pasting it to Facebook. I was posting it to LinkedIn, but I'm going to change that soon here. So that just gives me an hour to make sure that I can make the video as well as edit the video if I need to, post the video. That is always an hour, but I can always move it around too if I need to make it later in the day, if I have to schedule appointments, that kind of stuff. But I always devote an hour to it. And then I have my lunch break, eat at 12:30. And then I have blank space for events, for clients, for other kind of networking meetings, anything else that I can put in there. This allows me space to schedule that kind of stuff. And then I have client time 2:30 to 4, and then I have another space 4 to 5. So this is where I can schedule all of that extraneous stuff that comes in and fills up your schedule without even realizing it. So Wednesday mornings, I have content creation time. And so Wednesday and Friday mornings, I devote 2 hours to creating content. And this is how I really stay on top of creating blogs, creating programs, creating webinars, creating like any content that I'm producing that is a long-term project is during this time. And this time is somewhat flexible. I don't always get to the 4-hour mark every week on creating content. So I usually leave myself a little reminder about what I'm creating content for in this time, just so that I stay focused and know what to do with that time. But sometimes I have to schedule appointments over that. And that's kind of just, I know that that's a more flexible time block that I can schedule over. So that's easy to move around as well. And then I have my social media posts. I have meditating, I have eating, I have a block of time free, and then I have client time. And then I always have a monthly on the second Wednesday, I have a client follow-up list reminder. And so those are clients that are in my pipeline who I want to make sure that I follow up with. And these are tasks that you can set up in CRMs and stuff like that. I don't really have a robust CRM set up yet because I like to customize a lot of my interactions with people. I find the human-to-human interaction a lot more valuable. But this is probably something that I will automate down the road and probably give to an assistant or something like that. But for now, I just have it as a reminder to make sure that I do it and follow up with the people that I need to follow up with. And I just keep a spreadsheet of my pipeline and make sure that, I update the notes that we had a coffee meeting or something was scheduled and then canceled, or they were interested in a workshop but didn't follow through, so that I know what's going on with those clients in my pipeline. So then Thursday morning, I have the gym, social media posts, and then I go live on social media. And so this is usually either a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live. And it just gives me another personal touch point with those audiences and makes me actually do it. So every weekly on a Thursday, I make sure that I do an Instagram Live or a Facebook Live. And that really gives people a chance to interact with me and my brand and gain more familiarity on those audiences and platforms. So I have that for every Thursday. And then I have my eat. And then I have my send out appointment confirmation emails for next week. So I do this on the Thursday before because that gives people Friday to reschedule Monday meetings if they need to. It gives people a bit of a gap to remind them that they have a meeting with me next week, those kind of things. And so I just follow up with anyone that I have Zooms with or coffees with or anything, client meetings, just to make sure that we're still on each other's radar, because I can often schedule some meetings weeks in advance and sometimes it falls off people's radars. So this is just a way for me to re-engage with them. But again, it's not something that I really want to automate at this point because I may already be having a conversation with the person that I'm having a meeting with. And so I don't want to send them a whole set of new emails to confirm the meeting that we're already talking about in another email thread, because I know people hate just being inundated with all of those reminder emails. I think people tend to go overboard with reminder emails. I think it's important to do some, But I don't think you need to send like 5 reminder emails to remind someone about an appointment. And, if they are a person that needs to be reminded 5 times, then, they are special consideration. But most people just need to be reminded once or twice. So I just have that every week on Thursday in the afternoon, just to send out a, hey, looking forward to it, let me know if plans change kind of email. And then I have my client time, and then I have a send out client check-in emails. And so this is if I'm not actively engaging with a client at the time, then I will send a check-in email just to see how they're doing, see how things are going, and make sure that, they're still on track, that they don't need any help from me, or anything that might be in their way, or any updates in their life that may be affecting their work with me. It's just a time to check in with clients that I don't have an active conversation with at the time. So that's weekly on Thursday in the afternoon as well. And then for my networking groups, I'm on several leadership teams. And so I just have a reminder to let me know that I have a leadership team meeting on Zoom. This is monthly on the second Thursday. And then I put the Zoom link in here, so I can just go to my calendar when the time comes and click on the Zoom link and be directly there. So I don't have to dig around in my emails to find it or anything like that. Friday mornings, I have content creation. Right here, I have a reminder to rewrite my blogs because I've been in the process of rewriting all of my blogs. And I have that weekly on Friday for 15 times because I have about 15 blogs that I need to rewrite. So this is one of the 15 times. Social media posts, and then on Friday mornings, I update my QuickBooks, my spreadsheets, and my coaching logs. And so these are like my financial systems and the way that I track those kind of things. And so every Friday morning, I just make sure that they're all updated, everything's, up to date, that kind of stuff, any transactions that need to be reviewed, basically bookkeeping. So that's every Friday. And then I also have the Hootsuite weekend posts. So I schedule these about 2 weeks in advance, and I have it every 2 weeks on Friday to make sure that I schedule those posts and make those posts. And I have about an hour to that. And again, all of these can be moved around. If I need to schedule something on a Friday morning, I can move these all to the Friday afternoon to make sure that I have time to do those, but I still have time devoted to them. And then I have eat and meditate. So as you see here, sometimes my recurring posts overlap one another. So I generally have to, move these things around in order to make sure that I'm not overlapping. And I'm going to do the same thing over here for that one, just to, fill out my time. And then I have client time Friday afternoons. And then Saturday morning, I have gym time. And so this is usually either dance, church, or yoga, but I just have this general placeholder for it to make sure that I do it. And then Saturday afternoon, I have general groceries because everyone needs to go grocery shopping. So that's pretty much my weekly schedule and how I use time blocking as a way to make sure that my time is efficient and productive and streamlined. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns, or if you want help with this yourself. I actually offer sustainable schedule sessions for coaching clients, and those are only, I think, $49 at the moment. The price may be going up in the future, but that's just a basic way that I can help you set up your schedule for the week and make sure that you are devoting time to all of those areas on the Healthy Mind Platter. Do you have connecting time on there? Do you have play time on there? Do you have physical time on there? And then sleep time. Like, I don't schedule anything after usually 9 p.m. 9 p.m. is usually my cutoff for scheduling anything. But yeah, that's basically how it goes. And let me know if you found this useful. And I love you all. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.